Hello everyone, and welcome back to the TI-84 Evo Python programming tutorial series. In the last episode, we wrote our first Python program, sent it to the calculator, and then ran it. In this episode, we're going to be drawing to the screen and start building the actual snake program that we're going to be building off of for the rest of the series. So to get started in Calculux program, let's click on New, and then name our program Snake. So to draw on the screen, we're going to use the TI-Draw library, which is the calculator's built-in library for drawing shapes. So if we open the reference here and then open TI-Draw, we can see all the different commands that it includes. So to use it, let's type in import and then TI-Draw. And in general, drawing basically works in two steps, where first you set a color, and then you can draw anything you want using that color. So if we look at the set color documentation here, we can see that it takes an RG and a B value, which is basically how much red, green, and blue we want the color to have. And we have some examples down here showing how to do colors like black, white, red, green, and blue. And in general, programmers don't set these values manually. You can just go on Google and type in RGB color picker, and then you can choose whatever color you want in the sliders down here, and then it will spit out the RGB values down here for you to copy and paste. But for this basic example, I'm just going to do a pure green color, so I'll just copy the 0, 255, 0, which basically means I want 0 red, 255 green, which is the max value, and then 0 blue. So I'll do TI-Draw dot set color, and then 0, 255, 0. So now let's draw a rectangle with the fillRect command. If we go back to the reference and then open up fillRect, we can see that it takes an X and a Y value for the upper left corner, and then a width and a height. So just to demonstrate this, I'll do TI-Draw.fillRect, and then I'll do 100, 50 as the upper left corner coordinates, and I'll do a width of 60 and a height of 40. So by default, when a program ends, it will actually clear out all of the drawings that you have. So the current program that we have will just draw a rectangle for a split second and then erase it. So to actually see our drawing, let's go back to the reference and look at this show draw command. And we can see that it pauses the program until you press the clear key. So let's go ahead and do that. TI-Draw.showDraw. And now let's send it to our calculator. So now on the calculator, if we press the program key, open the Python app, and then open Snake, we'll see that it draws a green rectangle and then pauses until we press the clear key. So now let's go over what these numbers actually mean. So the screen is 320 pixels wide and 210 pixels tall, and the coordinate system starts at 0, 0, which is in the upper left corner. So X goes from 0 to 319 as you go right, and Y goes from 0 to 209 going down. So this is different from standard coordinate grids in math class, where typically Y increases in the upwards direction. On the calculator, Y actually increases downwards as you go down the screen. So for the example that we tried on the calculator with the fillRect 100, 50, 60, 40, we have 100, 50 as the upper left corner, which is 100 pixels from the left and 50 pixels from the top. And then we have 60 pixels of width and 40 pixels of height. Now, if we look at the finished game, we can see that the snake is made up of a bunch of squares, and it basically moves forward one square at a time. And the food is also made up of a square. So everything in the game lines up on a sort of invisible grid, and it makes sense for us to think of the screen as that grid rather than thinking about the individual pixels. So I'm just going to call every square on the grid a cell. So I just arbitrarily chose to make every cell in the grid 10 by 10 pixels, and since the screen width is 320 pixels, if we divide that by 10, we get 32 cells essentially, and since we have a screen height of 210, 210 divided by 10 gives us 21 rows. And then any cell in the grid can basically be described by a column and a row. So for example, this red cell we could say is at column 8 and row 2. So the reason why I did this is that it makes the game a lot easier to program. If we can just think of the entire screen as a series of cells, and then we create a function like drawCell, which lets us draw a specific color to a specific cell in the grid, it simplifies a lot of the game's logic to just be a series of calling the drawCell function over and over again. So to see what I'm talking about, let's go ahead and actually program this. So let's delete some of the code we have so far. So let's start setting up the grid in our program. I'll just create a section here called screen setup. And as I mentioned before, the width of the screen is 320 pixels. So I'll just say screen width is 320, and then screen height is going to be 210. And now, as I arbitrarily chose before, I'm just going to say that every square on the grid is going to have a length of 10. And now if we divide the screen up into this grid of cells, we're going to have a number of columns, which is going to be equal to the screen width divided by the square length, which is just going to be 32. So we have 32 columns on the board. And now we want to divide the screen into rows. So if we say board rows is going to be equal to screen height divided by square length, this is going to be 21 rows on the board. And the reason I have two division signs here is to do integer division. And this basically guarantees that the output is going to be a whole number. Sometimes if we get a number like 21.0 as the output, the drawing commands don't like that very much. So we want just 21 by itself as an integer, and this double division sign guarantees that that's what we're going to get. And the reason I typed all these variables out in all caps is just to signify that they're constants. In Python, typically, if you have a value that you set once and then don't ever change it, that's called a constant, and it's best practice just to put it in all caps, just so that other people know that that's what that is. So now that we have the screen set up, let's start defining some of the colors that we're going to use in the game. So for the background, we're going to want a black background. So let's say background color is going to be equal to 0, 0, 0, which is black. We'll just add a note here that this is black. And then the snake color is going to be all green. So this can be 0, 255, 0. We'll just say that that's green. And the apple color is going to be red. So this is going to be 255, 0, 0. So 255 red, 0 green, and 0 blue. So now let's write a function that draws to one cell. We're going to be drawing to cells super often when we're programming this game, so having one function that handles all of the logic for us and all the math is going to be super helpful. So let's start this out by typing def to create a new function, and let's call it draw cell. And we're going to take a column, a row, and a color. So now we'll need to do a bit of math to convert the row and column into x and y coordinates. So we're going to say x is going to be column times the square length, and y is going to be the row times the square length. So the way the conversion works here is you basically just multiply the row or the column by the square length. So for example, if I had column equals 8, we would calculate the x coordinate as 8 times square length, which is 10, and that basically just tells us that the column 8 starts at x coordinate 80. So next, let's make sure that we set the color to what the user requested. So let's extract the RGB values from the color. We'll say R, G, B is equal to the color. And now we can do ti_draw.setColor to the R, G, and B values. If you want to be extra fancy, you can also just do *color to unpack the values in the color, but for simplicity reasons, I'll just do RGB. Okay, so now that we have the x and y coordinate of the cell calculated and we have the color set, we can now actually fill in the cell with the fillRect command. So let's type in ti_draw.fillRect, and now we need the x and y coordinates. I'm going to type them first and then explain why I'm doing it this way. I'm going to do x minus 1, y minus 1, and then square length plus 1, square length plus 1. And the reason I'm doing minus 1s and plus 1s here is basically that the fillRect on the calculator draws slightly inside of the box that you give it. So if we weren't to do the minus 1s and the plus 1s, two cells next to each other would have a small 1 pixel gap in between them. And a full explanation of why this happens is in the reference if you open it up here and look at the watch out section. So I would recommend reading this for the full context and why we need the plus 1s and the minus 1s. Okay, so now that we can draw cells, let's start drawing our snake game. Let's start by filling the screen with the black background color. So as we defined up here, we have the background color, which is black. So let's unpack the values by saying RGB is going to be equal to the background color. And now let's do ti_draw.setColor to RGB, which is going to be the background color that we set here. And now to fill in the background, let's do ti_draw.fillRect, and then -1, -1, screen width plus 1, screen height plus 1. And again, we're doing the same thing here with the -1 and the +1 to make sure that we're covering the entire screen. So just for clarity, let's add a comment here saying that this is drawing the background. And now let's start drawing the snake. We can start drawing it by using the draw cell command that we created earlier. So let's say draw cell to snake color. And then let's do the next segment, which is going to be draw cell of 3, 2 of snake color. And one more, let's do draw cell of 4, 2 snake color. And now let's draw an apple one more draw cell at 8, 2, comma, apple color. And now, as we did before, let's do the ti-draw.showDraw to make sure that the screen pauses and doesn't immediately erase our work. Okay, so let's send this to the calculator. And once again, press Program, Python app, and Snake. And as you can see here, it basically drew a full black screen and then drew our snake here made up of 3 green snake segments, and then it drew an apple here. All right, so that's it for episode 2. In the next episode, we'll start learning how to read from the arrow keys so that we can start moving the snake around the screen. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.